Hi guys, hi everyone, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here again, or for the first time, where we're talking about emotional health, emotional wellness, and just how important it is and the impact that it has on our lives. I hope you've been seeing how making small changes and doing things that help you improve your health, improve your mindset, improve the way you think, improve the way you interact with this world, how that has been helping your life and the lives of others around, helping you, your work, helping your play. You know, when we're healthy in our mind, it's not just our body that needs to be healthy, but our mind as well. We're so much more effective in this world, and this is why we're here. This is why I'm here, because I want you to live the best life that is possible today, and the best life is available. It is here for you. It is here for the taking. This is why we do this. This is why we're here. Last week I spoke about insecurities, just touching the surface. These videos, I hope they're helping you. We can't, because of time constraints, I don't want to go too long and lecture you forever, so I just want to give you tidbits. Today I actually want to talk about flipping insecurities on the head and the opportunities that we actually get when we decide that we're going to turn a negative situation positive. You know, life is always going to throw curveballs at us. It's always going to throw situations at us that can bring us down, that can derail us, that can set us back. And what makes us successful is how we deal with those situations. You know, we always talk about this from a business and a work perspective, how we can take something negative and turn it into something positive, or how we can act differently or react positively in the face of a crisis. You know, in work situations, that's what sets us apart from, you know, the next person, is somebody who's able to be resourceful, is able to do better in these hard and negative and tough situations, challenging situations, and we should be able to apply. So when it comes to our personal lives and our health, our wellness, our finances, whatever it is that we find ourselves in, this is emotional health and wellness. So we actually don't apply that same formula or that same thinking to our own lives. We resign ourselves to settle for less because I don't know why. We believe that we can't get the same victories in our personal lives that we are applying to businesses that are not even our own. Do you understand that? That is, that's warped, right? That is not okay. We need to be applying these principles that we are applying to other people's lives. You know that you're making that CEO lots of money when you're determined, when you show up, when you're doing all that you can to succeed in your job. And I believe we need to do the same for our lives. Our lives are worth it. What makes a job worth your time and your effort, where you're applying it for somebody else's benefit? Why can you not turn the switch on its head and apply the same principles to your life? I challenge us as a society and as a people that our lives need to look as good as the next person's life that we are helping improve. And so that's what we're going to do today with our insecurities. We have the opportunity to look at them squarely in the head and then learn and grow and find goodness and health and peace in our lives, instead of the opposite, where our insecurities take away from our lives, where our insecurities take away from our personal lives, and we are living, you know, a less life than we should be living. I'm not going to ramble on too long. We're just going to jump straight head into tips that we can apply to our lives when we feel insecure and we face insecurities, how we can actually use them as a stepping stone to get to the next place in our life instead of a setback. So here are some 4 easy tips that we can do. The first one is recognize that you are feeling triggered by a stimulus. And normally the stimulus is a person or a group of people or circumstances that you find yourself in, where you find yourself feeling less. Normally insecurities are hitting on something that is telling you that you're not enough, that you haven't done enough, you don't have all these qualifications, you don't have all of these fancy things in life, or whatever. We get triggered by some of these things when we see them around us, and we see people who are successful or who are moving forward in their lives. Maybe it's in their relationships, our friends getting married, our friends having babies, and here we are single AF, and we don't know how to move forward. And then we get triggered, and we feel insecure, and we want to get down on ourselves. But when I say recognize that you're feeling insecure, I actually mean recognize that part of you that is saying, oof, I feel like I am less than. I feel like I don't have enough. I feel like, I don't know what your insecurities say to you, but that's what my insecurities say to me. That I haven't done enough, I'm not enough, I will never be enough. That's also a thing that insecurities does to us. It puts this limitation on us and how far we can go, and we need to recognize that as well. It's terrifying to be so brave and open with yourself, but once you are, it gets easier. And I am living proof. I used to hate looking in the mirror and seeing all my faults for what they were, but now I am so comfortable, and it gets easier for me to recognize when I am functioning out of a less place. Instead of putting myself down, I just say, okay, yes, I am feeling this way. Once you recognize that, now you're able to actually see the root issue. When you go to the doctor, you really want the doctor to pinpoint what that illness is, so that illness can be treated and you can get healthy. That's the same with our insecurities, and that's the same with so many other things that bother us in our emotional life and emotional state. We should pinpoint exactly what it is so that we can move forward, we can treat it, and we can actually forget about it. That's something we don't realize about addressing our emotional health, is that once we address it, we can move forward and heal and forget about it. So many of us feel like we're trapped, and we've been trapped by our emotional scars and pains and traumas and things that come into our life. You don't have to stay there. That is the glory of identifying and recognizing what is wrong. But let me caveat this: you're not recognizing what is wrong so that you can bash yourself over the head. You are recognizing what is wrong so that you can heal, so that you can move on, so that you can address it the way you need to address it. And that's really such a beautiful gift that you get to give yourself. Okay, so number 1 is recognize that you're feeling triggered by a stimulus. Often people around you or circumstances that make you feel less than, or whatever it is. Number 2, this is the fun part, is that you get to flip the narrative on its head. Now that you understand and have identified what you're feeling insecure about, you can take that insecurity and turn it around so that it benefits you, not that it detracts from you. Looking at the inside and staring at our pain, we tend to look at it like it's only going to bring us down, but I am telling you, it is going to bring you up. It is going to release you and free you. And that is so exciting. I am so excited that we get to tell ourselves a different story. We get to tell ourselves a different narrative. So where you've been feeling less than, where you've been feeling like you just don't add up to those people around you, instead of now isolating yourself, alienating yourself, sitting in worry and self-pity, you actually get to say, I feel insecure, but this is an opportunity for me to address this and actually understand what it was that brought me to this place or didn't help me move forward, what it is that I have been doing that maybe is making me fall short, or recognize that actually I've been doing everything that I can with the resources that I've been given, and I am doing good. So that's flipping the narrative on its head and saying that where you want to bash yourself and tell yourself that I am not enough, you can look at yourself and say, I am enough. I have X, Y, Z. I have accomplished A, B, and C. This has been my story this far, and I'm so glad that I get to be a part of the story. Once you've learned to flip that narrative and actually see that there are positives in this place that you may be feeling, it's such a good place then to do number 3. And number 3 is to love yourself. Love yourself where you're at. Love yourself for what you've done. Love yourself in this insecurity. This is the most important thing that you can do for yourself as you've been feeling less than, as you've been feeling like you're not enough, is love yourself. You only have you. You are a gift to yourself and to this world. And if you are constantly rejecting yourself, constantly telling yourself that you're not enough, constantly putting these pressures that are actually not real on yourself, this is where you fall short. That is where insecurity wins the day. That is where growth does not happen, because who can grow in a stifling environment? I'm sure you've been in a stifling environment before where you just can't grow, where you just can't catch a break. And that is what you're doing to yourself when you are telling yourself you're not enough. You're allowing those insecurities to run around in your head and plague you and bring you down and diminish you. So this is why it's important to love yourself where you're at. This is why it is important to look in the mirror and acknowledge those accomplishments that you've thought about in number 2. Acknowledge yourself and all that you've done and actually say, you know what, yes, I could be further, or no, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, all of those details don't matter. It is what you do with yourself now that matters, and what you do with yourself now that will change the trajectory of your life. We always underestimate the small steps that we can take to move forward, and this is one of the very small steps that you can take, and you will be surprised where you find yourself. You'll be surprised that you have moved forward in life. You have gained traction in your life. You have found acceptance, and it's living from that place that is the most beautiful thing that you can do for your life. And then you'll get rid of those thoughts of comparison, because insecurity is actually just comparison. You're comparing yourself to somebody else's circumstances, somebody else's life, somebody else's favor and misfortune. Sometimes we do not see the misfortune that someone had to go through to get to where they're at. We just see the glory, we just see all the good things that they're experiencing, but we don't realize that there's also another story of pain, misfortune, bad luck. Like, everybody goes through that. Even people who are wealthy and celebrities, everybody goes through that. So we cannot just want one side of somebody's life. If we want their fortune, then we should know that what comes with their fortune also comes with misfortune. So look at your life and be grateful for your story. Be grateful for where you're at, because you don't know what they went through to get there. You don't know what they may have suffered to get there. It may really be really painful, and you missed all of that pain, right? So it's always about recognizing that the things that you have gone through, the experiences, the ups, the downs, all the choices that you have made, they are very unique and significant to your life. And so learn to love that about yourself. Even if you want to get somewhere else because somebody has something else, like, just learn to love where you're at. Because I guarantee you, once you see who you are, once you see the gem that you are, once you see all that you carry, you will realize that, hey, your life is green on your side. You know, your grass is just as green as somebody else's grass. It just looks different. It doesn't matter if you have less or if they have more, or if you have more and if they have less. Like, none of that stuff is significant in life. We put so much emphasis on that, but that is not what is significant. What is significant is who you are, what you bring to the table, where you are going. Like, all of our lives have hope. All of our lives have a future. All of our lives have this beautiful journey that we get to go on and discover. We all have those elements, but what separates somebody who's successful from somebody who is not is what we spoke about in the introduction, is that they have taken those keys that are presented in life and in business, whatever, and applied it to their own personal life to see their own personal gain. So love yourself. Do it. That is how you are going to get to the next place. It's not by hating yourself, because if you hate yourself and you get to the next place, you're still going to hate yourself and hate what's happening and compare yourself and find fault with the next place, and it may be a very beautiful place, but you may not be able to enjoy it because you forgot to love yourself along the way, to love your insecurities, to work on these places that need work, and that can be such an easy fix. And then lastly, there is hope for your future. Your future is bright. What awaits you in your future is good things, but we let it gets stolen away from us when we focus on our insecurities, when we let our insecurities drive our actions. Tell me, any of you who watch this video, how many times have you succeeded? How many times have you gotten what you wanted? How many times have you found goodness in life when you focused on your insecurities? I can guarantee none of the times. I can guarantee you that your insecurities have gotten you nowhere. Your insecurities have taken you backwards. Your insecurities have cost you relationships and friendships that could have been really good and wholesome for you. That is what our insecurities do. So let go of them and allow yourself to just rediscover who you are and embrace who you are, your story. If you've made mistakes in the past, I want to just free you and say you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. There is not a single person on the face of this earth who has never made a mistake. I can guarantee you, if you look at millionaires, they've made mistakes. If you look at celebrities, they've made mistakes. If you look at just your ordinary person on the street, they have made mistakes. Your grandmother has made mistakes. Your mother has made mistakes. Your father has made mistakes. Your friends who are doing well or who are not doing well, they've all made mistakes. There is not a single person on this planet who is perfect. If we allow that to be our frame of reference, we can free ourselves and know that, hey, I can make a mistake and I can recover. I may have allowed my insecurities in the past to dictate my life, but now I can recover. I can rewrite the story, and this is your opportunity to look for hope, look for your destiny, look and reimagine and envision a future that is good, that you want, that is wholesome, that is full of people that love you, that you love yourself. All of this is possible, but it's not possible if we hold on to our insecurities, if we allow them to dictate the next steps that we take. I like to be a little bit transparent, and I just want to say right now, I find myself working on these little insecurities that have cropped up from me being around powerful, beautiful women. These women, I tell you, are just incredible. They're doing great things. They're in great jobs, and they're just so vibrant and full of life, and that kind of hid an insecurity inside of me because I'm still working on myself and learning to be vibrant, learning to embrace life to the fullest, learning to recognize my skills and talents. I really struggled back in the day to do that. I really thought I brought nothing to this table, and it was just my insecurities feeding me and telling me lies about who I was, not who I am, but this false reality that my insecurities created for myself. Instead of me focusing on, wow, they are powerful, they have these significant jobs, and I have X, Y, and Z, which is actually also pretty significant. I have a job, yay! I need to celebrate that. I have 3 jobs. I don't just have one. I have 3 opportunities to create and contribute to this world and the society. So instead of me focusing on, how I don't measure up to them, I'm learning to focus on how I measure up in my own measure. And the fact that they want to be friends with me means that I bring something to the table too. I don't have to look exactly like them to fit in. I'm working on myself to be a better friend because I know that when I'm insecure, I am a terrible friend. I don't show up to relationships the way I should. I don't allow myself to be transparent and to be open and to be loved for who I am. I'm just there comparing and measuring and down in the dumps and not somebody that anybody wants to be around. I hope that illustrates just how powerful insecurities are, and we have the choice to give them power or not. So now I'm looking at these beautiful women. Instead of being insecure, I'm taking inspiration from them. I'm learning that I can embrace myself and be just as powerful and beautiful and incredible as them. And there's space for all of us in this world. Their power does not take away from mine. And I just want to encourage you, like, that is the hope. Like, if you see somebody that makes you feel insecure, like, look inside and figure out where it is that they're touching you. And then flip the narrative on its head and find something positive that you can take away from the situation. And then in that place, love yourself. Figure out who you are. Continue to learn who you are. Continue to vote for yourself. Like, believe in yourself. Self-belief is so powerful. Self-love is so powerful. And then lastly, remember that there is hope, that your story is not determined by your limitations, by your insecurities, but your story is determined by your ability to bounce back, to take the opportunity to improve yourself. Remember, we're improving ourselves, because once we are healthy, once we have a healthy perspective of ourselves, you're so much more freer to live and contribute to this world the way you were born to. You were born to shine. You were born to contribute to whichever sphere that you find yourself in. You were born to be happy, healthy, to enjoy this life, to enjoy what you do. You're not constrained to the limitations we find ourselves battling, and the battle will be won. It can be won. You are not your insecurities. So I hope all of this helped you today. I hope this was encouraging, and if this was, like this video, share it with people that you think could benefit from this, and check out all my other videos on my channel. I hope all of this is just so good for you, and that you're finding hope, courage, and if you need prayer, I'm happy to pray for you. Just put it in the comments, that your health and your life and your perspective of who you are changes for the better, so that you too can love yourself unconditionally and enjoy this beautiful life that has been created for you. I hope you have such a wonderful day. Love you. Cheers.